Okay, students, good evening. Hope that you are doing well, and I hope that you are absolutely on quiet health in this pandemic crisis of COVID-19. Yes, today we are going to discuss chapter 19 or 20?
18, sorry.
18?
Chapter 18.
No, you have been mistaken. Okay, let's ask Isra or Surur. حسين موجود؟
Yes, sir.
حسين حسن.
Yes, sir.
Which chapter do we have today?
We have 18 and 19.
18 and 19? Why? Are you sure? We missed
in the last lecture,
we missed only one session. So we missed only one chapter.
Yes, we have discussed in the last lecture. You know that just only the chapter 17. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Which students today have presentation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Ali Abdullah?
Ali Abdullah and Zahra Abdul Karim.
Ali Abdullah. Taman, you have to submit the questions earlier, but you submitted today, and this is actually a big mistake. You know that you have to prepare it before time.
Really sorry.
2-3 days.
But we have some examination.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Okay, yesterday, before yesterday, and
Yes, thank
you have 4 days.
Sorry, sir.
No, it is not. It is not for me. It is for the students.
I know.
And this is impossible.
Yes, okay.
Okay, students, today we are going to have chapter 18 and chapter 19. And Sian try to have a session, okay, to substitute the last session. يعني لازم ناخذكم session إضافي حتى ناخذ بها chapter. So try to set a time for this, Sian. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, let's go back to chapter 18. Chapter 18, actually. In chapter 18, you will have the new generation, and this generation will be the third generation. You know that this novel has a complex narrative technique and a complex character relationship. You know that we must pass 3 generations, and we must understand the 3 generations. The first generation belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Aisha, Mr. and Mrs. Linton. They are the parents, and then we will have the second generation, the generation of Hindley, the generation of Edgar Linton, Isabella, and Catherine. From now on, we will have the new generation, and the focus will be on the new generation, and the new generation will be Kathy, Linton, Hurton. That's it. There are 3. And I like you to focus upon the names. You know that the names are نبأ عادل ولا واضح. شنو المشكلة؟ شنو المشكلة؟ Is there any problem with the voice? Then do you have a problem with the voice? Yes.
For me, there is no any problem with your voice.
Okay, there. It seems that the problem is with the internet. Okay, anyways, so the focus will be on, as I told you, the third generation, and from now on we will have Catherine Linton, little Catherine Linton and Manhattan. You know that you must focus upon the names because the names are repeated. For example, Mother Catherine, Daughter Catherine, and Linton, Little Linton, and Big Linton. Ali Abdullah, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Ali Abdullah will present
Okay.
the session for today.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, Ali Abdullah, the mic is for you.
Hi, my colleague guys. Today we are discuss chapter 18. Actually, as myself said, we have new characters, new faces, and new actions. So let's start with the summary about this chapter. Who can tell me about the summary?
Can I say?
ابتسام مؤيد.
Yes.
Yes.
Summary and chapter 18. Young Catherine grows up. It throws across current, and by the time she is 13, she is a beautiful, intelligent girl, but often strong. Well-done temperamental. Her father, mindful of the tormented story of the newborn monarch, does not allow on.
Thank you, Tissam. Ahmed Ali Ghali.
Yes, thank you very much. Young Kathy, sporting features of both parents, grow up at the Grange and were of Wuthering Heights and the people who lives there. He doesn't know about who lives there and Wuthering Heights. For 13 years, Edgar never allows her to leave the gardens by herself. Being an inquisitive girl, curious girl, when she hears of the fairy cave at Penistone Grange, she begs her father to take her there. But the road passes by Wuthering Heights, so Edgar was afraid to see that.
Okay.
And he is not
Thank you,
willing
Ahmed.
to travel there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Zahra Haidar.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, summary, right?
Yes. Summary.
Yes, this chapter about how Catherine is growing across the Grange and how her father prevents her to see Wuthering Heights.
Yes.
And also the main point about the letter from Isabella to her to her brother, Edgar, and how she wants him to help her.
Yes. Complete, please.
Yes.
You say
That's
the actions one by one, and this you doing well. Okay. Who is the narrator in this chapter? Who's tell us about these events or actions?
Also Nelly.
Nelly. Okay. So Nelly, at the beginning of this chapter, describe young Kathy Linton. How did Nelly describe? How tell us about Kathy? Who can tell me?
May I?
I choose from raising your their hand. Hawra.
Yes. Nelly describe Kathy, the celestial beauty in face with orange show handsome dark eyes, but the lynch fire skin and smile future and yellow curling hair. Hair's bright was height, thought not route, and qualified by her sensitive
and lively, too excited in the affection. That instant reminded me of her mother. Still, she didn't resemble her, for she could be soft and mild as a dove, and she had a gentle voice and pensive.
Okay, thank you so much, Tawra. Zahra Abdul Karim.
Yes, Nelly described Kathy. She said that young Kathy, daughter of Catherine, she's copy-paste of her mother. She's high-spirited, she wild, she beautiful, she very blood courageous, and she left her house. She was energetic. She has a lot of similarities in her person from her mother.
Okay, thank you so much. Nelly described Kathy, as you see in page 232, if you have a book, in line number 10, a real beauty in face. This means her face is a beauty, with the Ernschwa handsome dark eyes. Her eyes are like the eyes of Ernschwa, which have black eyes, but the Linton's fair skin and small features and yellow curling hair. Kathy have smooth, clear, white skin and lustrous golden hair, like Linton family. And her spirit or soul was high, though not rough, and qualified by a heart sensitive and lively to excess in its applications. And this means Kathy have a beautiful soul and beautiful spirit. Her heart is tender and passionate. But from all this description, what do we conclude from this? What does the description mean? Can you tell me what the description is tell about what? The description of Kathy is a mixture between Ernschwa family and Linton family. Are you accept this point or not, and why? Okay, no one. Okay. Nelly, in this describe is tell us about Kathy, the young Kathy. She have best features between Ernschwa and Linton family. She have black eyes like Ernschwa family, and another features from Linton. So now we move on to compare between young Kathy and her mother, Kathy. What are the similarities and what is the difference between Kathy and her mother? Who can tell me? Yes, Ahmed Ali Ghali.
Yes, thank you very much. The first question, I think she had...
Ali Abdullah, excuse me, Ahmed. Ali Abdullah, try to ask other students. You have a complete list of sleeping students. Well, they are not students, actually,
okay,
they are sleeping. Okay, continue, Ahmed, and after that I need you to ask some of the students in the list.
Okay, sir. Complete, Ahmed.
She has a root from two family. That's Neladine was afraid she will have the same dilemma, just like her mother. So, in my point of view, she looks exactly like her mother. She is kind, love valiantly, and attached to all around her. I think, her family loves them so much. But she was she was head strong. So her
Okay, Ahmed. Okay, Ahmed, thank you so much. You're doing well. The same question. What are the similarities and the differences between Kathy and her mother? Okay. Ala Nazam?
Yes.
Yes, can you tell me about the similarities between Kathy and her mother, or the difference you choose?
Okay. I think Nelly said that little Kathy, she different from her mother.
Yes.
And her personality, because little Kathy, she was soft and mild as a dove.
Okay.
And she had a gentle voice and pensive expression. But,
yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Hussein Hassan Rukun?
Yes, sir. We can say that there are some similarities between Kathy and her daughter, and yes, as well as there are differences, many differences between them.
Yes, of course.
Yes, I think it is just only similar to her mother, with the external appearance, with the face, okay, beautiful face, and her skin, okay. But for morals, for ethics, they are different, okay, because she was sensitive and has a good heart, let's say, not wild personality, as her mother was has a wild morals and a wild spirit. Okay, I think the daughter has a high spirit, but Catherine was not like so. I think we have the main differences and similarities between them. I think so.
Okay, the similarities and differences between Kathy and her mother in this chapter. She was like her mother in the intensity of her attachment to those who lived with her. I mean, her family or her friends. She loved them deeply. But the difference from her mother in that she is calm and soft. She is like a dove that flies in the sky and adds beauty. Okay.
Ali Abdullah, excuse me, just I want to participate with you and to let you have a break and to prepare the next part of the chapter. Okay, excuse me, Ali Abdullah. Okay, let's continue, or let's start from the beginning just to give you the main points. The main point here, or the first main point here, is that the character of young Catherine, you know that Catherine is improved. Catherine now, she is 12 years old. Now look the time or the chapter, chapter 18. If you open your text on the chapter, the first three words refers to the 12 years. What does it mean, 12 years? What is this date? What is this, or what is those 12 years?
Can I answer?
No, not Ali. Zainab Hashim?
Yes, sir. It's 12 years since Kathy is dead.
Yes, good. Now, everything is judged by the death of Catherine. Now, 12 years since Catherine has been died. And this is, as I told you, that the death of Catherine was the split point in the story, and the story will continue. And I ask you a question about why the story, or why does the story continue, and you gave me some reasonable answers in the Telegram group, and you are absolutely right, because the Catherine or Catherine's ghost will continue in the story till the end of the story. So although she died physically, but she is still alive in the heart, for example, in the heart of Linton, in the heart of Nelly, in the heart of Heathcliff. So the story continues as a spirit or as a ghost. Yes, as I told you, the chapter, 12 years old now. Little Catherine is 12 years old, and this time is judged by the death of Catherine. Yes, the first main point is the description of the young Catherine, and Nelly gave us the description for her. We come to know that she is soft, mold, and dull. And these three characteristics, they are similar to her mother. Her mother, she was soft, mold, and just like a doll. But another similarity, which is for me, it is very important, but no students mention it, is that both the young Catherine and the mother Catherine, both of them, they have a great intimacy with nature. I mean, natural landscape, the scenery, wuthering heights, mountains, more, they are all, they are lovely places to go by little Catherine and mother Catherine. And, sorry, this motivation or this intimacy actually will lead little Catherine to discover wuthering heights, and the role here will be focused, the role of fate and the role of destiny will lead her to have another story or to involve in the main story. You know that children and wuthering heights, they have no fault and they don't know anything, but they are involved in the main action. Involved with their parents' action by accident or by, let us say, by the fault of others. So the main or the important similarity is that both of them, they are near to nature, and they have a great intimacy with that nature. Another main point is that the event that focus upon the encounter between young Catherine and Hurton. Young Catherine is in the Thrush Classic range, and Hurton is in the Wuthering Heights. Now, the encounter between them has a great significance for the plot. When I say the plot, is that the story of the third generation. Okay, Ali, Abdullah, now the mic is for you, just to ask the students about the main event in this chapter, which is the encounter between Hurton at Wuthering Heights and Catherine from Thrush Classic Range. Yes, Ali Abdullah.
Okay, excuse me, you tell the student about how Kathy go to Wuthering Heights? Or
yes, right.
Okay. Now, Edgar took her education, like we compare between Kathy and her mother, and she loved nature as the point that mentioned by the teacher. She wanted to know her world more. She want to go to Hales, to Benston Graz, but Edgar didn't refuse or didn't accept this. He refused because this Benston Graz through with Wuthering Heights. After Edgar went to Isabella, after Isabella sent a letter to Edgar, Kathy went or go out the house of her father, and she wore clothes about Arabic, and she say to Nelly she need to go to the air, and Nelly thinking she need to play.
Okay, and if we ask the students that, what is the motivation behind that?
Yes, where Kathy go when she left her house? Where the Kathy go to when she left her house?
Yes, and what is the motivation for that?
Yes,
Correct.
wuthering
For that
heights.
journey.
Yes, Saja.
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell me about living here?
Okay. She loves to play beside the moon as usual, and need to pass the wuthering heights to get there. When Isabella left to leave to London and had a son, Clinton Heathcliff, who is now 12, dying Isabella, and she convinced Edgar to come to her and take her son. After that, Edgar leave and keep Nellie to take care about Kathy. She allows her to play around.
Excuse me. The question, I mean, how Kathy go to Wuthering Heights after all these events, all these actions? How go to Wuthering Heights? Can you tell me?
May I? Yes, Nellie goes to Wuthering Heights and search about Kathy to find her. I'm sorry.
Yes, in Wuthering Heights. But how?
May I?
Yes, Luma. Thank you, Saja.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Heathcliff forces Kathy and Nellie to return with him and Lytton to Wuthering Heights. He confidence Kathy and Nellie Wuthering Heights long enough to be with her father as he dies, but is soon taken back to that and Heathcliff because of careful local now was both Wuthering Heights and Grange. Kathy reluctantly lives with Heathcliff and she return home.
Okay, thank you so much, Luma. Rusul Thar, how Kathy go to Wuthering Heights?
Okay. When Kathy was bored, Nellie let her go around the Thrushcroft to play. So Kathy is allowed to ride her pony around the grounds, but when she fails to appear for tea, and one day Nellie realized that she must have set off for Winston Grange on her own setting off. So Nellie stops at Wuthering Heights after notice one of Kathy dogs in the yard. Kathy
exactly.
Instead, having visited Preston Grange with her son, who is now 18, Nellie tries to convince Kathy to leave immediately.
Okay, Russell. I have a question here. How before we move to the actions between Kathy and Harton, how Kathy and Harton meet?
Okay.
I need this point. Kathy and Harton, yes.
Kathy and the dog of Harton.
Yes, Kathy.
Okay, skip it. Okay, ask another student.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Choose it from the list, yeah.
May I?
Senian Chasif.
May I say?
Yes,
Yes.
I think when Edgar learned that is the night and he goes to London to bring Harton back to Scotland, well, he is gone. Kathy managed to escape from Neely and to this God, and they meet Harton alone in went away and immediately liked him or loved him, and the two they lying together.
Yes, thank you. And anyone else?
May I?
Yes, Maha?
Yes, at that time, Hareton became 18 years old, and after nearly arrived to the Wuthering Heights.
Sorry, Maha, I need the answer of the question how Catherine and Hareton meet. This point I need it.
May I ask you?
Hawra?
Yes.
Yes, can you tell me?
Yes, Neil told us that she ended finding Kathy at Wuthering Heights. Kathy was reaching toward the cave when Hareton dogs and her dogs are getting intertwined.
Yes.
Hareton and Kathy spent the day together, enjoyed by themselves. Until Nellie arrived, Nellie insisted on getting Kathy home immediately, but she is too interested in Hareton. I mean Nellie. Her interesting. Then she thought as soon as she find out that Hareton is not the son of the master of Wuthering Heights. She immediately assumes.
Thank you, Hawra. Okay, so Kathy and Hareton meet after dogfight, and there is a question.
Ali Abdullah, excuse me, Ali Abdullah, Abdullah. You missed the point here that I asked the students about the motivation of going there. Why did she go there? Why did Catherine go there?
Yes.
Yes, Zainab Hashim?
Yes, sir. Something like fate. To meet the other, Hareton and
fate, okay, no problem. Okay, but yes, it is quite right, fate or destiny, but there is a motivation behind this.
May I, sir?
Why did she go there?
May I, sir?
When you enter.
Muhammad Ali Hadi.
Okay, Ali Hadi.
I think
Muhammad Ali Hadi, yes, Muhammad.
Yes, I think she dreamed of going there to see some cliffs, distant crags.
Okay, right. What do we call it? What do we call it? You know that from the beginning of the novel.
We
talked about something or something that motivated Mr. Lockwood. You remember?
May I?
Yes, Zahra Abdul Karim.
Yes, I think Catherine living behind her ignorance and innocence of the world and the dog's company.
Okay, thank you so much. We just mentioned the similarities between her and her mother. Yes, Hawra.
I think the narrator want to tell us that Kathy and Hareton, just like she go to Wuthering Heights to meet Hareton, to make shadowing that Hareton and Kathy.
No, thank you, Hawra. No, Hawra. No. Yes, Ali Abdullah.
Yes, I think when Kathy asked Nellie about what is after these hells, and Nellie respond hells too, and talk about Brimstone rats, when the sun rays fall into these stones, appear as a golden, and she wanted to go here, but Edgar refused because the road of these stones through Wuthering Heights.
Okay, thank you, Ali Abdullah. Actually, the main motivation for her is that because she loves. I told you. We just mentioned because she loves nature, and she loves and her curiosity. You know curiosity.
Exactly what I said.
Yes. Yes, she wanted. Yes, she always asked Naladin, what is behind the hills? What is behind that scenery? Okay, so she wanted to discover the nature. She wanted to discover the new things or new lands. That's why she set a journey, and she told Nelly to prepare her a horse and food, horse food and drink. She is just like to go and discover lands. Now there is a reference also for Arabic culture here. You know that Arabic merchant. There is a reference here for Arabic merchant. She wants to, little Catherine, when she wanted to set a journey, she wanted to play a role of Arabic merchant, or Arab merchants. You know Arab merchants?
الرحالة العرب.
Yes. الرحالة العرب. Yes. الرحالة. Yes. Yes, and this is actually a reference for Arabic culture. Okay, here, don't forget it. So there is also foreshadowing for something happening. The foreshadowing came with an image of dog. We have 2 dogs here, or maybe 3 or 4 images of dog in this story. But in this chapter, we have an injured dog. Injured dog. She has been found by Nalidin, and the dog belongs to whom? Belongs to Catherine. What does it refer to?
Can I answer?
Let's see those sleeping people, sleeping students, for example, Amir Salim. Are you there, Amir Salim? Or just you join and then Amir Salim? Now he is absent. Dunya Rahim. Zaid Muhammad Na'ma. Saeed Salman. Bargham Rabi. Ata Khalaf. Ali Hafid. Ali Safi. Ali Na'ma. Fatma Ali Hussein. Kawthar Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Yes, your name? Fatma Ali?
Yes.
Yes, Fatma. We talked about the image of dog. You know that Nalidin, in searching for Catherine, she had been encountered with the dog of Catherine, but the dog was injured. Is there any reference for something? Or is there any foreshadowing for next events? And how could we compare this dog with the previous dog? You remember the previous dog? Dog of whom?
Yes. May I?
Yes, Fatma. Yes, Fatma.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Mustafa Al-Musawi, please try to correct your name. Give your father's name. Mustafa Al-Musawi. Please, Hassan, try to inform Mustafa Al-Musawi and other students to write their names, exact names. No, Mustafa Al-Musawi.
May I, sir?
Sir?
No, wait.
May I, sir?
Hana Alwan. Yes, Hana Alwan. Okay, also she is absent. يعني هذا خوش موديل مالي يسوون جوين ويروحون. أنا وعد عبالكم احنا غشنا من معروف أو يعني. Okay, anyway. ما يضرون غير أنفسهم. نبع عادل.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neba.
Sir, here we say in Emily Bront novel, she uses the symbolism dog for more just one. She used first the dog that appears in Isabella
represent Isabella in chat and go from wuthering height.
Good. When she ran away, you remember that Isabella,
Yes.
she ran away
Yes,
and
sir.
Nelly found hanging dog? Yes. Good.
Yes, and the second symbolism, the dog that find it Nelly, the dogs of Catherine injured. Now, we saw that in the dogs mentioned frequently in the novel, use it in series of master to set the mood and foreshadowing for good and bad things are going to happen.
Good. Right, absolutely right. Good, Naba Adil. Yes.
sir.
Now it is used as a foreshadowing. Okay, yes. Shahad Abdul Khaliq.
Yes, sir. It's also foreshadowing for Heathcliff and what's he going to do with Isabella, as he's going to treat her as a slave, not as his wife, for that he doesn't like her, and he doesn't. He just wants to express his anger for what happened with Catherine, and when she married Edgar, not him.
Okay, right. Okay,
May
thank
I?
you. Yes, Maha.
Yes, sir. Catherine's dog has a swelled head and building air. That's foreshadows Catherine's grateful reaction. Right?
Okay, Maha, thank you. Yes,
May I? May I, sir?
yes, Asiya.
Sorry, sir. We have a lecture now, linguistics, 5:30.
No?
Yes, sir.
No? Why?
Yes. According to the schedule, sir, you know that 5:30 we have linguistics.
Okay, you sent me just right now. You sent me the timetable, right?
Yes, sir. It was changed in the last week.
Okay, this is your timetable. We have one session. حسين.
Yes, we have one. Yes, sir.
لا انت احتمال متوهم لان هسه هذا عندي حسب التايم تيبل اللي عندي هنا ساعة 5:45 وساعة 5:30 محاضرة ثانية. هاي هسه مدزت لي اياه؟
العفو استاذ، انا اشتبهت باليوم الثلاثاء معذرة دكتور.
اوكي.
ربعت انت محاضرة اللغة، ربعت انت محاضرتنا.
Yes, 6:15. Yes, right. So, yes, now the image of dogs, actually, the symbols of dogs. Yes. Who was talking? من كان يحكي? Wait. Yes, شيماء حسين.
Yes, sir. You ask about the dogs and what it represents. The dogs. Catherine's dogs had swelled head and bleeding air. This foreshadowing Catherine's grateful reaction, swelled hair, to something she hears, bleeding air, and doesn't like. Catherine and Hurton meet because of the dogfight. The created a feeling of doom and the sense that peace between Wuthering Height and Church Grange is impossible. They can't.
Yes, good
not
point.
ever be equal. It has a rivalry between them. It has as dog fights.
Okay, good. Now you know that the dog fight between Wuthering Height's dogs, exactly between Hurton's dog and Catherine dog. أحمد حسين عبد الكاظم يريد الالتحاق. Okay, as Shema said that the fight represents that the peace or peaceful life or peaceful time between Thrush-Cross Range and Wuthering Heights, it seems that it is impossible. And the injured dog exactly is a foreshadowing for the next events, foreshadowing for Catherine's future. As it was foreshadowing, I mean, the hanging dog of Isabella was a sign, a bad omen, foreshadowing for the life of Isabella. Okay.
Can I ask?
Yes, Mariam.
I think at the beginning of this novel, Emily Bronte describes little Kathy when Mr. Lockwood described her when he visited them.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yes,
he
exactly.
described her, she was sad and she was unhappy with Hareton.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Good.
the reader can conclude that this event of the dog, it's also foreshadowing for her condition when she married, because we know at the beginning of the novel she is married to Hareton.
Yes, exactly. Good. We have seen that at the beginning of novel. This novel, Mr. Lockwood actually described her as a miserable character, as a miserable girl, and this is you will see in the novel at the end of the novel. Okay, good. Now, Ali Abdullah, what do we have in this chapter?
Yes, sir. About the conversation between Kathy and Hareton, and how Nellie described the character of Hareton.
Good.
Is the
now once again we have a description for Hareton. You know, look how many times Hareton or the characters are being described. You have seen, for example, Heathcliff are being described by Nellie, described by Isabella, described by Mr. Lockwood, described by even Edgar. Okay, every character actually gives an important description or a repetition of his character actually. Okay, there is nothing new in his character, but there is an emphasis upon the qualities, emphasis upon the characteristic or certain characteristics of that person, or exactly Heathcliff. Now, once again, Nellie actually describes Hareton. Okay, before we already had a description from Nellie. You remember that when Nellie visited Wuthering Heights, he cursed her, he threw stones on her, and she described him as a savage, described him as a bad boy. Now, once again, a description of Hareton is being introduced or is given by Nellie once again. Okay, how does she describe him? Okay, so
can I say?
No, not Ali. Ala Navam?
Yes.
Ala Navam?
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
She said. Yes, she said that he was a well-made, athletic youth, and good-looking in features, and is stout and healthy. This is his features, what she describes him. But at the same time, he were a garment perfecting his daily occupation of working on the farm and longing among the moors.
Okay, Ala. Yes, what else? Okay. Ala. Sorry, another student. Luma Muhammad. Yes, Luma.
Yes, sir. Nellie says good long 19 years old, desired in farmer's clothes. She since he is in Italy and intellection and lamenting that Heathcliff has left him in Childselt. The Aska theory.
اوكي يعني هاي الكلمة يا لما لو يعني عارف معناها كان سويت لها substitution. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Aska theory past the hides one of the dogs began fighting with Kathy dogs Heraton.
Okay, thank you so much. Now we are Luma, please. Luma, yes.
Yes.
Luma, mute your microphone. Something wrong with your microphone. Okay. Once again, actually, the character of Harton is described by Nelodine. Nelodine here described his physical appearance. She talked about the well-building boy, and he has his looking is accepted. Okay, and like before, and the most important thing that he has been deprived from education, and you know that Heathcliff. It is part of his scheme to deprive or to degrade, you know, degradation, idlal, to degrade Harton as he was before has been degraded by his father. Okay, what about Heathcliff's Heathcliff's way of life? How is his life?
Sorry, sir, about the life of Heathcliff, or
yes, I mean, no, the life of Heathcliff. How is his relationship with other characters in the novel? You know, after the death of Catherine, he has been changed completely, and his brutal nature is emphasized by the death of Catherine. Right? This chapter also focuses upon his character. Okay.
Sorry, sir. I think he was away getting off the actions just mentioned as there is go or he go away, not in Wuthering Heights when this actions has events.
Okay. This is actually separately from the encounter between Harton and Catherine. Okay, and the chapter also introduces or gives us a description for Heathcliff. Heathcliff becomes more brutal, okay, and he became very depressed, and he is not good. He has no good behavior, even with his people around him, his servants, and his servants also run away from him. Just Zilla and Joseph actually staying at home. Okay, anyways, this is actually the end of chapter 18. Now, the chapter 19. Ali Abdullah, also chapter 19 for you or for other students?
No, it's for Zahra Abdul Karim.
Okay, Zahra Abdul Karim.
Yes.
Zahra Abdul Karim, we have half an hour.
Chapter 19.
Okay.
Yes. First question for the student. I need one of the students to tell me who is the narrator of this chapter. Yes. Try to raise your hand and I choose one of them. Okay. So tell me about the narrator of this chapter. Chapter 19. Yes, Hawra Muhammad.
the narrator of this chapter, Nelly Dean.
Okay. In this chapter, Nelly Jean tell about the actions of this chapter. Okay. Okay. I talk about a simple paragraph in this chapter, and next time I ask about the summary of this chapter. Okay. In the beginning of the chapter 19, the important character is Isabella. She has died, and Edgar.
She has been died. Yes.
Yes, died, and Edgar returns with her and Heathcliff's child. Linton, Catherine excited to meet her real cousin. Still upset finding out her a servant is her cousin. Encourages Edgar and Linton on the road. Linton is a physically weak and beavish child used to pampering. He refused to exit the carriage. Okay, I'm going to discuss with the other students about this chapter. Okay, try to raise your hand to answer this question. Can you, one of students, tell a simple summary about this chapter? And I give questions. Okay. Hawra Shakir, can you tell me about the simple summary of this chapter? Yes.
In this chapter, Linton arrives from London, and he tell us that Isabella is dying, and Edgar, and Linton is arrived. Neil described Linton as a bold and delicate, affirmative boy who greatly resembles Edgar. He is too weak and sick to play with Kathy, and has to lie on couch inside of sitting with the family during tea. Kathy treats him.
That's enough. Thank you, Hara. Who else? Who can tell me about the summary of chapter 19?
May I?
I'm going to choose Saja Ali. Yes. Saja Ali, can you tell me about the summary?
Yes. After that, Joseph came down from Wuthering to take Linton home to his father. Edgar feels terrible because he had promised his sister that he would watch over her son, but he has no choice. Heathcliff is the boy's father. That's all.
Yes, that's enough. Okay, I'm going to ask this question. Who can describe the person of Kathy in this chapter? I'm going to choose Ala Nadal. Yes, can you describe the person of young Kathy?
May I?
Yes. Yes.
Miss, you mean Herton? Describe Herton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Who can describe the person of the Kathy in this chapter?
May I?
Yes, Ahmed Ali Ghali.
Yes, he is too weak and sick to play with Kathy, and has to lie on a couch instead of sitting with the family during tea. He can't sit like them. So Kathy, yes.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to explain some of about Kathy. In last chapter, we know about the person of Kathy.
Zahra, you are talking about Catherine, and some students actually are talking about description of Linton, young Linton. So please try to focus upon your question and about the answer.
Yes, the answer it doesn't clearly. So I'm going to explain something, and I'm going to asking another questions because they didn't answer me true. Okay, and the Kathy. Also, Kathy is excited about the imminent arrival of her real cousin. She doesn't.
Why? Why now? Why does she feel happy with the arrival of this boy? I mean, Linton. Why she is happy?
Because she still. Because
no. Let's ask the students. Shahad al-Musawi, change your name. Shahad. حسين بلغ كل الطلبة خلي يكتبون اسمهم واسم الاسم الثاني والاسم الثالث. لا يكتب لي كاتبت لي شهد الموسوي. شو أعرف من هذا شهد الموسوي؟
ماشي أستاذ بلغنا شهد.
حتى ما أعرفه يجوز مو يعني يجوز أصلا مو بالدراسات المسائية. إسراء عقيل.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Isra.
Yes, Linton resembles Edgar, but it is weak and whiny. Kathy treats him like a pet or baby, kissing his forehead and stroking his hair. Edgar tells Nelly that he believes that if the Linton is allowed to stay at the Thrush Cross Ground, he will get strong. In Kathy, he has a playmate his own age. But that night, Joseph arrived from Wuthering Heights, demanding Linton. Edgar says he will bring Linton to Heathcliff in the morning.
Okay, good. Actually, now she is happy. Catherine is happy to have a playmate. She is... Yes, Zainab, you have something to say?
Yes, sir. About why she is happy. Because she found someone to play with. Because her father didn't allow her to go far from the crossing range. And we will see that she will treat him kindly, treat Linton. She will kiss his cheeks and just like a baby. Treat him just like a baby. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hussein Salah. Hussein Salah. Okay. Hamza Mahsen اليوم silent actually. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
No, why you are sleeping, Hussein? We miss you.
Thank you, sir. I miss you also. Today I'm under the weather.
Under the weather? What happened? What's wrong with you?
I don't know, sir. I think it's kind of fever and coughing.
Okay. Hope you recover soon.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Luma Muhammad. Okay, Zahra Abdul Karim.
Okay. I'm going to describe the Heathcliff son and in this chapter. Okay. About talking another things in this chapter. This chapter states the reader's curiosity about what Heathcliff's son may be like. And it establishes Linton's character as sickly and difficult. Unfortunately, Linton will bring him immediately to Wuthering Heights I place the reader, Mr. Dean, now will not be contributes to a happy childhood. Heathcliff's son.
Okay. Let's have the last point of this chapter, and then you will set it free. Okay. The last point is that immediately at that night, Heathcliff knows that his son is arrived to Kashgar's Grange. Immediately he sent Joseph to fetch him, and he met first Melody and told her that I'm going to فتح المايك. Yes, he told her that the father needs his son, Linton. She refused, and then she asked Edgar Linton to give Linton to Joseph to take him for his father. But he also refused, and then Joseph threatened him. He told him that if you don't give me the boy, my master will come and fetch him by himself or take him by himself. Okay? Next morning, or the Edgar Linton and Nelly, they decided to give the boy for his father. Okay, and they decided to send him next morning. By this, we come to end this chapter. Next time, tomorrow, you will have two chapters, chapter 20 and 21, chapter 20 and chapter 21 for tomorrow. And I need another for this week. Hussein, try to arrange or set a time for a session, either on Wednesday or شنو تختارون, either on Wednesday or Thursday, لو أربعاء لو الخميس.
I think Thursday, sir.
Thursday? You mean day after tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
No? Thursday?
Yeah.
Sorry?
أنا أستاذ أقصد المحاضرة التعويضية يمكن كان قصدك؟
إيه, محاضرة تعويضية, نعم.
أقول الأفضل نخليه يوم الخميس.
اوكي.
ما عاد محاضرة ثانية حتى يعني نراجع المادة.
اوكي. I'm ready. Just 1 hour. يعني فقط 1 hour. اوكي. من عندنا من اللي شاركوا بالبداية؟ الأسماء اللي شاركوا واللي سووا presentation.
Sorry. Can I give an addition about this chapter? Can I?
But briefly. Yeah.
Okay.
Very briefly.
Chapter, yes, we must to know about the similarities between and difference between the parents and their children. Most notably through Linton's physical condition, nothing like Heathcliff's. It clearly reflects his father.
Okay, Zahra. Okay, good point. Try to send it, Zahra, try to word it correctly. صيغ السؤال بصورة صحيحة and send it in the group. Okay, if you don't mind.
Okay. أستاذ أنا كاتبتها حتى بسألة الجروب بس ما يعني لأن الوقت ما.
Okay, try to لأن اليوم يلا أعطيتهم الخطأ جسيم أصلا يا زهراء ويا علي عبد الله. Okay. وين كنا احنا؟ I forget.
سألت عن شاكر وحسين حسن.
شاكر.
حوراء شاكر
أستاذ شاكر.
حوراء. وبعد.
وحسين حسن.
حسن ركن. وبعد اكو احد عندنا؟
لا أستاذ بس دول اثنين وآخر اثنين هم اليوم.
Okay, who wants to participate for the next session? For tomorrow?
ما أسف؟
يعني هنا راح يسوي لنا إرباك. يعني اليوم عندكم محاضرة وباكر أيضا محاضرة. هنا راح يصير جدا إرباك. يا ريت تحركوها يا حسين. تحركوها for example day after tomorrow. يعني يوم الأربعاء.
ماشي.
يعني ما معقولة مثلا اليوم عندكم محاضرة وباكر عندكم محاضرة. It is impossible. Yes. Okay. Who wants to participate participate? منو اللي قال لي؟ منو أنت شروق؟
No, رسل ثائر.
Okay, رسل ثائر. رسل ثائر and
18. Sorry.
chapter chapter 20 و chapter 21. chapter 20 عليك يا رسل. نريد لنا بعد participant. من يشاركنا بعد بشابتر؟
May I, sir?
منو أنت؟
مريم سعد.
أوكي مريم سعد. أوكي مريم سعد 21 ورسل ثائر 20. try to form حتى لو فت 5 أسئلة على كل شابتر.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? عندكم أي سؤال؟
Yes, sir. If you don't mind.
Okay, Ahmed.
So, why Mr. Heathcliff has right to take Linton?
He's his son.
Heriton. Okay.
Sorry, would you please repeat it again?
يعني أستاذ أقصد إنه ليش مستر هيثكليف حجز هيرتون أخذ إليه وهو ما له حق به أستاذ؟
هو ما أخذ إليه.
يعني هو الأكثر له أحقية إنه إدجار مستر إدجار هو اللي ياخذ وصايته. وهسه من إجا مثلا من جاب
ليش إدجار؟ Please أحمد you are mixing between Linton or Hurton. ابن إيزابيلا ابن هيثكليف ابن هندلي. يس شنو علاقته أنا عاد إذا ابن هندلي شنو علاقته بلينتون بأدجار لينتون؟
أستاذ هو أقول إنه هو الأحق بالوصاية مو ياخذ مثلا إدجار
ليش أحق؟ ليش أحق مثلا ليش أحق؟
ما له حق بيستاذ هو
هيثكليف ما له حق لكن هو بقى often and with nothing يعني wuthering heights has been sent to Heathcliff يعني البيت مال wuthering heights راح لهيثكليف لأن هندلي شنو كان عايش بالدبس المن الهيثكليف.
صح.
Now Hurton has nothing as a kind of revenge. Heathcliff he is trying to degrade Hurton. اوكي حتى يذل هيرتون لان هيرتون هو ابن هندلي ويريد ينتقم. اوكي so he wanted to degrade him as his father degraded Heathcliff. Okay,
that's right. So I ask another question. Why Mr. Edgar don't ask or don't demanding about Hurton? ليش ما انه طالب به مثل ما هسه هيثكليف جاي طالب بابنه؟
أستاذ أقدر أجاوب أحمد؟
إذا بالله هي وصت أخوها على وصايد.
العفو أحمد. You mixing Hurton, son of Hindley and Francis. Not sister of Edgar. يعني إدجار وفرانسيس وهندلي ما لهم قرابة حتى يطالب به.
بالضبط.
هذا حصير السؤال بالكتاب أستاذ على الجروب.
Okay. This is right, but try to be accurate. يعني لا تخبط بين هارتن ما له علاقة بإدجار لينتون. Okay. Try to focus. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now we are free to leave. Thank you so much for your listening and don't forget tomorrow at the same time. Okay, bye-bye.